Hi everyone, today I'm back with a new video about my experience in Korea. Today I will talk about what I think about working culture and more specifically to Haeshik. So of course I'm talking about based on my own experience in Korea, and it's not really a generality, at least these days I think. But yeah, I think I was pretty unlucky on this experience one. So in my first working experience during my working holiday that I talked about in a previous video, so I worked for a Korean boss that was in his 50s, if I remember right. And as I mentioned in the previous video, actually I did a lot of Haeshik, which is like business theater for people that doesn't know about it. But if you know about Korean culture, you may have heard this word Haeshik. So those are supposed to actually kind of build teamwork and spend time with your colleagues outside of work. So it's like between employees but also superior people, so you can have boss with employees and things like that. But during my experience, I thought it was really unhealthy because you're kind of a little forced to participate to it. So I think it actually became a little healthier this year because now some actually authorize their employees not to participate or at least to go after the first round. And actually, I think because of the COVID, they will actually make it less, but I'm not sure yet because like there's still like old bosses, but maybe young generation will actually prefer to at least not do it as often they do right now. And young Koreans actually, because of COVID, to get used to not doing them. So I think maybe we are going towards the not disappearing, but at least less frequent Haeshik. I heard about it, but I'm sure, so I'm not going to say that's what's going on in Korea. You won't be able to participate to Haeshik in the future, but like I heard that young generation actually started to think that is not really great to do them. So outside of the mandatory side, for me is also like the alcohol side that I don't really like. Once again, I had a really extreme experience, but during my working holiday, because for me it was every week at least 3 or 4 times, and it was like 7 hours in a restaurant where we were drinking. I think toward the end, for me at least, it was around 2 bottles of whiskey every night. So it started to be really, really tiring for me. And actually, because of this experience of Haeshik in Korea, I kind of don't like to drink alcohol that much anymore, or I'm not really good at drinking it anymore. I am not appreciated and actually maybe get sick more easily than before, or maybe it's just age, who knows. But since I was in Korea and I wanted to work in Korea, I wanted to follow the culture. But sometimes it felt like I was kind of at the mercy of my boss, and I didn't really like that. So, because I couldn't say really no, but I ended up just faking drinking because they were really drunk. So I was just faking drinking, and I never left my glass never empty. To avoid getting more alcohol later and to be drunk. But yeah, I was faking drinking, and instead I was drinking water when they were looking at me. But yeah. So to be honest, I don't really understand why those dinners still exist, because for me it's kind of old-fashioned work culture. But most of the Korean that I know complained about those dinners. But of course, there is also Korean that enjoy going to those dinners because of the food and alcohol. So you can find those two aside. But maybe if it was more, how to say, more enjoying the evening with your colleagues without the drink, like extreme drink inside, I would enjoy those dinners more, I think. But me, I had to do only the first round, but it was 7 hours first round. But I know that in Korea you can have different round that we call. Like the first one is mainly, I think, maybe eating, and then the second one is drinking, and then you can also go to norebang, which is karaoke, and I heard maybe at some point some go to club, but I'm not sure about this, so I'm not going to say they go to club after 회식. But yeah, that basically for me, 회식 was not a really good experience. But if it's like a more healthy environment, I think it's okay. But since I was in really unhealthy one, with really, how to say, forcing both like drinking, and I got some really weird exchange with some of the partners of my boss, stuff like that. So I don't really enjoyed it. And because I was also a foreigner, it was kind of like I am the entertainment of the evening, and it was already tiring for me. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and see you next week with a new video. Bye!